and welcome once again to Cheap Shot Entertainment. You are the Cheap Shot Nation and I am your host Luke. And we're going to take you through everything that happened in NXT UK number 36 this week, including the contract signing for the historic match taking place at TakeOver in New York, which is now on a Friday, which I've never seen that before from a TakeOver, but quite welcome because I can still go to work, stay up all night, not have to get up on Saturday morning, and I've now got Sunday booked off as well, which I didn't really need to do because, well, TakeOver's on Saturday. But never mind, it is what it is. Anyway, as I say, we're going to take you through that. Make sure you hit us up on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, do all the stuff that you do if you like a video, you know, thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we're going to get straight on to the show, and we hope you enjoy our video here on Cheap Shot Entertainment and you become one of the Cheap Shot Nation. And without further ado, let's get on with the show. So, Coventry Skydome, we're back there again. It was released on the 27th. Yeah, 27th is 28th today. I had a bit of a brain freeze there. 27th on the network. I watched it this morning. Again, good show. We're starting to sort of slow down before WrestleMania, before it picks up again, I would imagine. Didn't see any of the major heavy hitters here, but we did see obviously Pete Dunne and Walter throughout the show. Lots of other matches being made for next week and a really good main event once again. So, for the first match, we have Jordan Devlin, and he is going against Dan Maloney. Dan Maloney is going to be at Southside Wrestling this weekend that we're going to go and watch as well. Jordan Devlin would pick up the win here very convincingly. Dan Maloney got very small amounts of offense in at the start, but a captain's performance from the Irish ace Jordan Devlin. Devlin ends the match really quickly with a high angle backdrop driver after, like I say, little offense from Dan Maloney here to pick up the victory and some momentum going forward in the NXT UK Championship race. So we next get Cassius Ohno out to talk to the NXT UK universe, trying to explain his actions, and he says he doesn't need to explain his actions because he has made his voice clear. He has no respect for the NXT UK universe or the NXT UK roster. We next get an update, a video package of Dave Mastiff doing all his strongman stuff, and I had no idea he was in strongman competitions, but there you go. Very impressive, carrying massive weights on his huge shoulders. And yeah, Mastiff is coming back after his... I don't think we've seen Mastiff actually since his altercations with Eddie Dennis. Incidentally, Eddie Dennis is on my t-shirt today because he announced on social media that he's got a tear in his other shoulder now, the one that kept him out for so long, and I'm absolutely gutted for him. One of the best wrestlers, best performers I have ever seen in a squared circle on the British circuit. So from Cheap Shot Entertainment, we hope you get better very soon, Mr. Dennis, and we hope to see you back in NXT UK again and in Hope Wrestling, because we've seen him quite a bit on the independent scene recently at Hope Wrestling, that's in Mansfield and in Leicester, and he's also made appearances as well on Wrestling Resurgence, where he went for the title against Jack Sexsmith. So yeah, one of my favourite wrestlers, probably will be for a long time, and yeah, we hope you get better soon, Eddie, and we hope you're watching this. Give us a thumbs up, you know. But yeah, get better soon, Eddie, and like I say, Mastiff is ready to come back as well, so we might get a rerun of that rivalry. A very good rivalry it was too, and that ended at NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool. yeah, so we haven't really seen either of them properly since then, but yeah, be nice to see Mr. Bomber back on NXT UK. We next get the announcement that in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks, that we get to see Toni Storm and Ginny for the NXT UK Women's Championship. Toni Storm, I can do all day, as if, and Ginny is not my bag. Sure, I mean, appreciate that she's good in the ring and things, but she's just not my kind of women's wrestler. So there you go. Well, that's it, and that leads us into the women's division match for the show on episode number 36. It is Xia Brookside, and she's going against Rhea Ripley, calling Rhea Ripley out for being a bully when she was NXT UK Women's Champion. Xia Brookside does take the fight to Rhea Ripley in this match, getting most of the offense in early in the match and right up until the end, really, when Rhea Ripley finally snapped like she was in some kind of mosh pit. Haha. And just hit the riptide on Xia Brookside after knocking her silly, and she gets the win, but like I say, Xia Brookside proving that she could take the fight to the much bigger Rhea Ripley in this match. Of course, the first ever women's champion on NXT UK. But yeah, your winner here is Rhea Ripley after Xia Brookside gives a damn good account of herself. After the match, we get Rhea Ripley picking up the microphone, talking about the competition, saying, really, that's what you could throw at me, and basically saying that she rules the women's division. She is the monster of that women's division. We then get introduced to Piper Niven. Brilliant. We get introduced to her, also known as Viper, on the independent circuit. But Piper Niven, she was in the, I think she was in the first Mae Young Classic. She got to the second round. She was very impressive, and she's very impressive indeed. Anyway, I've seen her live at Hope Wrestling as well, and she is absolutely beautiful and a really good character, really nice person to talk to as well. So wish Piper Niven all the best on that signing as well. She makes her debut and basically says, "You're not the monster anymore in the NXT UK Women's Division. I've come to take that title away from you." And that's where we get Piper Niven. So yeah, I made a massive pop for that. Love Piper Niven. And I like Rhea Ripley, so maybe it's going to be like a Dave Mastiff versus Eddie Dennis, but in female form. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one, actually. I don't know when it's going to turn up, because there's no sort of next NXT UK takeover, although I think we'll probably due for one at some point in the near future, being as it's been about 3 months since the last one. But we'll see where that goes. So yeah, Piper Niven makes a debut, Rhea Ripley gets the win, Xia Brookside gives a good account of herself. The women's division is shaping up to be very, very competitive indeed. So we next get an in-depth look at Walter ahead of his contract signing with Pete Dunne. A great hype package here, going back to old school roots for this hype package. So yeah, we get to see where Walter's been, footage of Progress Wrestling, footage from Germany, XWX or WXW, and yeah, really good hype package here for Walter. Don't get one for Pete Dunne, but I think his achievements speak for themselves in NXT UK. We next get a promo from Bartel and Eichner, and they talk about Amir Jordan and his tag team partner making their making themselves look a bit daft on NXT UK last week with the training montage. Kenny Williams, that's his name. I've just had it in my head. But I thought that was very entertaining, and they were just being like Eichner and Bartel just being the heels. Like, that's not funny, but it was funny. So shh, it was funny. Anyway, I like Bartel and Eichner. I like Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams, but it seems like we might just get that match sooner rather than later as we move forward in the NXT tag team division and the competition around that title as well. But with Zach Gibson currently out of action with an injury, we don't know when they are going to defend those titles again. I guess the 30-day no defense clause went out the window a long time ago in wrestling, and especially in WWE, because we've got a current Universal Champion that hasn't defended his championship since the Royal Rumble. So yeah, there we go. He's definitely not quite the champion that Pete Dunne is. But yes, after that we go straight on to the main event. So we would see the return of the Scottish supernova Noam Dar, da 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 da, who'd come back with a bit of an attitude problem, to be fair, and went back to his own heelish ways, saying he can't wait to get to Scotland, and he'll take the high road and get there before you, he said. Anyway, so we saw the return of Noam Dar. He called out Mark Andrews pretty much, and we get this match. That was a couple of weeks ago. We get this match, Mark Andrews versus Noam Dar. I'm not the biggest fan of Mark Andrews. I do like Noam Dar, but this match may have just turned my thoughts on Mark Andrews right around, because it was a fantastic match, one of the best that I've seen on NXT UK, and we've seen some really good main event matches. These two were absolutely built to go against each other, but it does finish sadly with a no contest, as Noam Dar is in complete control, focusing on the leg of Mark Andrews, who would hit his leg on the ring steps or the post. Obviously in kayfabe you don't know whether these things are actually true or not, whether they're fully serious or not, but the injury to Noam Dar certainly did seem serious, because he broke character completely when he was stretchered out. So lots of injuries being picked up, and this is probably the problem with not having any off season in wrestling, because to survive you need to wrestle pretty much every day and travel all over the world in order to do that, especially when you're on the independent scene. That's not to say that NXT UK is the independents, but it is developmental, so it's pretty much on par with that. Anyway, like I say, great match was sadly ended by a let's say botched reverse Hurricane Runner on Noam Dar by Mark Andrews. I don't think Noam Dar could flip himself over quick enough, and his knee buckled, and as Andrews was coming round he shoulder barged the back of the previously injured knee. Now that knee has kept him out for a long time, so don't just come back and it looks like it's re-injured again. So we not only lose Eddie Dennis in NXT UK, but we lose Noam Dar, who is a relative newcomer to NXT UK. His looks serious. I'm not sure about Mark Andrews, but if it is serious, speedy recovery to both of you guys on this one. You'll be a massive loss to NXT UK if it is indeed as serious as it looked on television. But Like I say, it could be kayfabe, it could be real, who knows in wrestling. That's what makes it interesting. But both guys taken out on stretchers, and like I say, Dart does appear to have properly re-injured himself, breaking character with the thumbs up and things like that. So Andrews was also stretchered out, didn't look as serious, but we don't know what's going to happen with that, but we'll try and keep you updated through social media and things if you're not following the WWE, which you should be, so why not? Go and follow the WWE on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and all that kind of jazz as well. And so after a very sad ending to the main event, an epic match which deserved a lot more than to be sort of ended like it did, we get Johnny Saint coming down to the ring with his assistant to the general manager, Sid Scala. And they come to the ring for the contract signing. They bring the contract out, they introduce Walter, and Pete Dunne then comes in to sign the contract as well. Walter says nothing. They ask if he's got anything to say. He says nothing and signs the contract. Pete Dunne says the same thing. Doesn't say anything, signs the contract, and then he says, "No one put you in front of me. I asked for you," and basically said that it's his NXT UK and I am the UK champion, which he is, and it's 670 plus days, probably more now, bearing in mind that it was about a month ago when this was filmed. So we're talking about 700 days currently of Pete Dunne being a very fighting champion. Championship's not always been on the line, but he has wrestled quite a lot of matches, and that includes matches outside of NXT UK as well. So yes, the contract is signed. The match will take place on the 5th of April 2019 at NXT TakeOver New York, and will be part of WrestleMania weekend. I am really looking forward to that match. Incidentally, don't know if I should drop this one, but we have the big boss Tom Priest popping over to watch WrestleMania, so we're going to watch NXT TakeOver as well on the Saturday and do a review of that. So I don't know whether I'm going to be watching it live or whether I'm just going to watch it on Saturday with Tom and then do a review between us. So you're going to get your first glimpse of the Big Boss and the Big Boss Book Club, as he has so dubbed his stable. So that will be really cool as well. So contract is signed, we get a match at NXT TakeOver New York. And so that is everything that happened in NXT UK episode number 36. It took place on the in the Coventry Sky Dome. It was filmed at the end of February. It was released on the 27th of the 3rd, 2019. Really indifferent show. Great main event until the final part, and we got the contract signing. But it was a lot of talking in this one. Not many matches, and the matches we did have were squash matches. Exciting news about Piper Niven, overshadowed unfortunately by the injury to Noam Dar and potentially Mark Andrews as well. Good showing by Jordan Devlin, and like I say, the contract signing was decent as well. No tables tipped or anyone going through a table like there was last time, but it is an epic match, and it shows how much the WWE are putting into the UK scene at this point in time. So yeah, that is everything that happened in NXT UK this week. If you like the video, make sure you hit a Walter size big boot on that subscribe button and a high angle backdrop driver on that notification bell to know when we upload new videos to the channel. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. I have been your host, Luke, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.